Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Jungle Inc. Crypto News. XRP no longer needs banks. Ripple CTO David Schwartz says, the old playbook is dead. Banks were slow to adopt XRP. The partnerships looked good in press releases, but real volume never came. Now, Ripple is pivoting to fintech and DeFi, where liquidity moves fast and utility matters. Schwartz made it clear XRP's future is crypto native, powered by stablecoins, exchanges, and DeFi rails. No more waiting for the banks to catch up. The game has changed. And this is exactly what David said here. Take a listen.
Banks, it's very sexy when you close a deal with the bank, and we do that sometimes, but they're very slow movers. They're very slow to execute. They're very conservative. They're never going to be Ripple success stories, and it's hard to get them to push the benefits down to their customers because that's risky for them, and then it highlights where they're inefficient. So we focused a lot on banks in the beginning just because a press release with a bank is a big thing, but we discovered they're just very slow to move. Like if all they want is a press release, now we're like, hey, we want to actually move billions of dollars now. And they're like, yeah, we kind of don't.
And what's really going to get the banks on board is their customers, because the customers, they want fast and cheap payments. If the bank is still offering slow and expensive payments, then the banks are just going to get left behind. And take a listen to this as well. Our banking system is 50 plus years old.
Faster, more transparency, and greater access. And I think one of the big questions here is what happens with the correspondent banking model. I think the role that the banking system plays is crucial in the global economy, and I think that will continue. But the sort of traditional model of pre-funding accounts for liquidity purposes, nostro-vostro accounts, it's proven that part of the correspondent banking model is not needed.
And that is what's really going to get the banks on board, unlocking the nostro-vostro accounts, because the bank's biggest problem is liquidity issues. We still expect a massive liquidity crisis to unfold at some point already. But if Ripple can unlock the nostro-vostro accounts, that allows the bank to have more money to loan out for mortgages, for new cars, or whatever. And that's another reason that the bank should already be excited about working with Ripple. Dubai just chose XRP. The Dubai Land Department is now issuing tokenized real estate title deeds on the XRP ledger, secured by Ripple custody in partnership with Control Alt. This means real estate is now fractionalized. Ownership is on-chain and global. Transparency and liquidity unlocked. XRP Ledger becomes the foundation of real estate finance. We knew this was coming. Now it's actually happening. I remember a couple years ago, people would talk about something like this coming at some point in the future. Now all of this is happening in real time. Imagine all of that value traveling across the XRP ledger. XRP retains the #1 spot for 24-hour trading volume in South Korea, recording over $500 million on Upbit. It continues. South Korea is really pushing XRP in this cycle. They are just crushing it day after day. Retail signal flashes as Coinbase climbs 63% in App Store charts. It looks like retail is coming back to crypto. So the climb from 436 to 162 demonstrates how quickly retail sentiment can shift when crypto prices begin trending upward. The following is excerpted from the Block's Data and Insights newsletter. So now we know retail is interested again as well. So now this time around, this cycle is already gaining more momentum because retail's back, institutions are just sitting on the sidelines waiting to jump in as soon as they get the green light. How can you not be excited as a crypto investor? This is the cycle we are going to make a hell of a lot of money because this cycle is so much different from every previous cycle. You know, if you go back to the 2017 2018 run that everybody keeps citing as being super bullish, back then we had none of what's happening right now happening at all. We have so much enthusiasm and so much excitement building, and at the same time catalysts are building for XRP as well. It's just non-stop bullish announcement after bullish announcement. That's why I said I still think XRP is going to shock everyone when it finally really breaks out. Digital assets are no longer an outsider topic among institutional investors. Institutions are talking about digital assets now. They're talking about crypto now. You see it on the mainstream media news. And that's because they know if they don't get in soon, they're also going to be left behind by their competitors. Once one institution gets involved, all of a sudden every other institution wants to get involved as well. Because if they don't, they're risking getting left behind. The banks, they seem like they're in no hurry to jump into this space. But their customers are either going to push them into this space or they're going to get left behind as well. Ripple is now in the process of becoming a bank already. We, as XRP holders, will be the branches. That time is coming as well. Here is why XRP could hit new record highs in July. So if you look at this, what they're saying is it all comes down to legislation. They're citing those bills that we're waiting for to get passed. That could get XRP to a new all-time high. But I'm more thinking that XRP is already going to get to a new all-time high without any catalyst actually happening. We're also waiting on those ETFs as well. That's going to be a game changer for XRP. We're also waiting for the case to end between Ripple and the SEC. So far, July still looks very good for crypto. Plus, we're also waiting to find out whether or not the Fed is going to cut rates. That could be very bullish as well. That could get this whole market moving. And it's so much building up. As soon as it happens, it's going to be spike after spike for crypto prices. This comes from Ripple. We're honored to be named one of CNBC's world top fintech companies for the third year in a row. Thank you for this recognition. It reflects our ongoing commitment to building the Internet of Value and transforming how money moves around the world. And you see it right here. Payments awarded companies, Ripple. You know, the mainstream media news, they really have an idea of what's coming. But they're pushing the Bitcoin-only narrative still, because that's where the money is right now. You know, you have companies like BlackRock that are still trying to cash in big on Bitcoin. You also have President Trump's kids also wanting to cash out big on Bitcoin. But the mainstream media news, every once in a while, they'll talk about Ripple. They'll talk about XRP. They'll look beyond Bitcoin. And I think as time goes forward, all the talk is going to be around Ripple and XRP, especially once it flips Ethereum. Then they're going to be talking about it possibly flipping Bitcoin. Wait till those talks are happening on the mainstream media news. This comes from Senator Cynthia Lummis. I'm alarmed by reports that the U.S. has sold off over 80% of its Bitcoin reserves, leaving just 29,000 coins. If true, this is a total strategic blunder and sets the United States back years in the Bitcoin race. Honestly, I don't think there's a Bitcoin race at all. I think that was a created narrative by these Bitcoin only people. Do you honestly think China cares? Absolutely not. You know, the rest of the world is stockpiling gold, wanting to go to a gold backed currency. They're all pushing forward with central bank digital currencies as well. They really don't care about Bitcoin. I don't think that race even exists, to be honest with you. But this is not shocking. I even said that this was most likely happening even before Trump got elected as the president. I said there's probably a good chance that Biden's been selling off the U.S. Bitcoin. And people back then said, oh, you're totally wrong on that. The U.S. government's never going to sell off their Bitcoin. Well, it looks like the U.S. Marshals have revealed the real truth. And a lot of people are saying this is fake news. If it's fake news, great. Then the U.S. government's holding a lot of Bitcoin. If it's not fake news, then we already knew what was going on already. Either way you look at this, the U.S. government should not be stockpiling Bitcoin at all. It doesn't benefit the American people. You're going to buy this now and hold it for 20 years to pay off half of the U.S. debt. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? Why not have something that strengthens the U.S. dollar today and benefits every single American, like XRP? When you could move U.S. dollars around the world in a matter of seconds for a fraction of a penny, that strengthens the U.S. dollar. Not buying and stockpiling Bitcoin. That only benefits these bailout wanting big bag holders like Cynthia Lummis. But you know, no matter how all this plays out, us as XRP holders, we get rich in the end no matter what. Because everything that's happening right now all leads to one thing: XRP becoming the world's bridge currency. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.